Good morning, everyone. Here I am. I'm Sarah. Well, welcome to Coffee and Crochet with Sarah. Now, for those of you who don't know, we live stream our Coffee and Crochet with Sarah video over to our Facebook page, which is Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page. And we try to do this every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Now it's Mountain Time because I live south of Denver, and so it's Mountain Time for us. And if you don't know what time that is, you can just Google it and just put in your Google search, what time is 9:30 Mountain Time in my time zone, and it will come up, okay? Now, if you're not on the Facebook Live and you don't see it there, don't panic. It will always be on the Facebook page. You can go to photos and it will always be there. Good morning, Rita. You're the first one to pop in. And then also it will always be on YouTube as well. So if you're yarn shopping or you're stuck in a line at Hobby Lobby, or maybe you just even had to work today, don't panic. Coffee and Crochet with Sarah will always be on Facebook and will always be on YouTube. Alrighty. Now, I wanted to talk to you about a few things. I've got a few questions to answer. I've got a demo I'm going to show you. And I'm going to tell you about the March yarn giveaway. I'm really excited about this one because it was kind of surprised when it came in because I kind of forgot I asked for it. You know that happens. When you got a lot going on, sometimes you get forgetful. Well, the first thing I want to say is Happy Tuesday. You know, everybody's calling this Super Tuesday or whatever, but I think every Tuesday is Super Tuesday when we get together and chat. Alrighty, I've got my coffee mug. I just want to sip coffee and crochet, and this is one of my favorites. I ordered it from a lady off Etsy, and I found it just by putting this in Google and looking for a mug, and this came up. She had great prices, super nice lady. I can't remember the name of the shop, but if you Google it, you can find it. She also has ones that say, I just want to sip coffee and knit, I believe. And there's another one, I think, that says, I just want to sip coffee and read. And she's got some other ones also. But anyway, I love this mug. I'm drinking cocoa coffee today. And clinkety clink 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 to all my crochet and knitting and yarny friends today. All right, before I tell you about our giveaway, I just want to answer a couple of questions, and they're about the YouTube channel. Real quick, this will be real quick, and then we'll do the talk about the giveaway. Now, something that you need to keep in mind when you're watching a YouTube video, whether it's one of mine or somebody else's, one thing to keep in mind is that the colors aren't always going to look the same. And it really depends on what device you're looking on. I've had people tell me that's not teal, that's blue. Or that's not red, that's pink. Or that's not green, that's yellow. Okay, and so whether you're looking on a phone, a tablet, a desktop, a laptop, the screens are all going to be different, and they might translate those colors a little bit different. So keep that in mind when you're watching a YouTube video. And that's really true of anything that you look at on your computers. If you're at a Ravelry shop or an Etsy shop and it looks purple but it's pink or something, it might just be your screen, all right? And if you're shopping for yarn, that can really be an irritation. But I wanted you to keep that in mind. Another thing is that when you're on YouTube, I do all of my videos in loud. There's one more setting after that, but I don't do mine all the way up, just in loud. And if the videos are too loud, you can adjust that on your device. If the videos are too soft, you can also adjust that on your device. And keep in mind, again, it's going to make a difference whether you're on a laptop, a tabletop, your phone, or a tablet, or something else. The volume is going to be different, and you want to keep that in mind and adjust it on the device that you're working. And a good example of that is, hang on 2 seconds, I'm getting a scratch in my throat. I'm a little dry this morning. A good example of that is, excuse me, is there are times that I am listening on my iPad. And I do that sometimes when I'm waiting for my YouTube video to load off my regular computer that I use downstairs for my editing of my videos. And sometimes I'll be listening and I'll switch over and all of a sudden it's way, way loud. I'm like, what did I do? Well, I didn't do anything. It's just a different device. So keep that in mind with adjusting your volumes. Adjust the volume on the device that you're using. And the last thing real quick is that if the video on YouTube is going too fast for you, you can adjust that speed on your end. And if it's going too slow, you can adjust it also. And the other thing that you can do is pause the video. Sometimes if I'm doing a lot of rows of something, I'm not going to show you the whole complete row of, 400 single crochets. That's just boring, And so I'll do the beginning section, and then sometimes I'll cut it off after a few stitches so you can see, and then I'll skip to the next beginning and show you how that row should look. And that just keeps the video from being hours long. And if it's going too fast, you can pause that video where you need to. YouTube has a lot of really neat things that can make your YouTube videos a better experience and not let yourself get frustrated. Adjust your volumes, adjust your speed, pause where you need to, and don't freak out if it looks hot pink when it's really red. And a good example also of that is this shirt that I'm wearing. It's hot pink. It looks red. Look at my earrings. They're hot pink. They look light pink. It just depends on what you're wearing or what the thing is and the device that you're working on. And I just wanted to talk to you about that. I get questions about that all the time. And I want your YouTube experience to be fun. And I want you to have a good time crocheting and not get frustrated. And those are some things that you can do to help that. All right, I'm going to take one more sip of coffee, and then I'm going to tell you all about our March giveaway. Okay, now, as you know, every month, the winner's going to receive one of my project bags. Coffee and Crochet with Sara. Nice big project bag. You're going to get this. And inside this bag is, I'm just so excited about this, 4 of these hanks. 2 teal and 2 cream. And what these are is from Cascade Yarns. This yarn, all 4 of them are 100% Peruvian wool. All right, and the price tag on there says $6.60. So you're getting 4. You're getting 2 teal and 2 cream. Oh, there's a fuzzball on there. Look like a swat. There's the teal. Here's the cream. You're getting 2 of each. And like I said, 100% Peruvian wool. Okay, and each one has 3.50 ounces on it. And I didn't look at the crochet hook size, but I'm pretty sure it's about a medium 4. I'll look at that again later. All right, so I've got all ready to go. I'm going to put that down over there by the bag. Now, how do you get involved in the giveaway? I get this question all the time. So this is the way the giveaways on my channel work. The first Tuesday of each month, I'm going to tell you and show you what the giveaway is. Then you have 2 weeks, and every comment on this video on Facebook and this video on YouTube are all entries. You don't have to message me. You don't have to do anything. Just comment, I want that yarn in that bag, and your name goes in. And then 2 weeks from today, which actually is St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th, I'm going to announce the winner of the giveaway. and then I'll explain to you how to contact me. I love it when the giveaway winner contacts me quickly and I get it out to them quickly. I love that. All right. And so that's all you have to do to get involved. You have 2 weeks to comment. All these comments that are already here on Facebook, you're already entered. Now, if you commented and you think, I don't really like wool, or maybe I'm allergic to wool, you can put a note in there that says, I just want the bag, or don't enter me this time, I'll enter next time. All right, because we never know what kind of yarn that we're going to get, okay? All right, I was real excited about that. I personally don't use a lot of wool just because it makes me just a little bit itchy, but it's wonderful soft wool. It's beautiful colors, and I think you're really going to like it, and that's why I was really excited when that came in. All right, now, the next thing we're going to do, and I didn't say good morning to everybody. I didn't get a chance. Sorry about that. But the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to do what I call cheat. Yarn cheats, crochet cheats, actually. All right, so let me click over to my other camera, and you can see I've got a little bit of crocheting there and a hook. I'm going to scoot my chair over. Sorry, Rosie. Rosie was sitting behind me, and she popped out. All right, Rosie's my little chihuahua, if you don't know. All right, now, what happens is I get a lot of questions about, I have too many chains. I don't have enough chains. What in the world do I do to fix this? All right, so the first thing you do is don't panic. A lot of times when you're making something and you have to chain a whole lot of chains, I recommend that when you do that, that you mark them off in increments of maybe 10 or 20. That way you don't have to keep counting your chains. Once you get it to the length that you need, then you can take those stitch markers out. And that's just something that I do when I'm making a blanket. And even if I'm doing a foundation, single, half double, double, triple row, I still go ahead and mark those off about every 10 or 20 stitches because I don't want to have to keep recounting, and that's just something that I do that might help you out. All right, now I made this little swatch. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 double crochets on a chain. Let's say my pattern said I only needed 10, but I have 11. What do I do? And you'll notice I have another one there. Well, what you can do is just do your 11 and do your next row. If you have too many chains, it's not a problem at all, because when you get done, you can just take out those 2 chains. But make sure first you have the right amount of stitches that your pattern calls for. All right? So that's one thing don't panic about. Another thing is, what if I've done all my chains, I've done all my double crochets, and I'm out of stitches, and I don't understand how I did that. How come it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? I've got my 12 stitches, but I'm supposed to have 13. What do I do? Well, there's 2 things that you can do. You can do a foundation double crochet to add to your length. So yarn over, go in that last chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, now you've made an extra chain, and then you can make another double crochet. All right, you can do that, and that will add, even if you've got a couple you have to do, you can do it that way. You can go right in that bottom chain that you made. There we go, there's my chain, and now I'm going to do my double crochet. All right, so now I'm going to have enough stitches to do my project. The main thing to remember when you do this is to make sure you have the right amount of chains. And it's really easy when you're doing a long chain to accidentally add or subtract an extra stitch. All right. So first, we don't panic. If we have too many stitches, we take one out. We can take the chain out. If we don't have enough stitches, we can do a foundation. Well, if you just need one more stitch, a lot of times I just go ahead and add a second stitch to that same chain without a foundation if it's just one stitch and it's something that's going to be like a big blanket or something, and that one stitch isn't going to matter because I'm going to put a trim on it. Okay, so there's 2 things that you can do if you don't have enough stitches. All right. What happens if I'm stitching along? I'm going to go ahead and do my next row. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and make some double crochets across, and I'm stitching along. And somehow, let me put that ball out of the way so it doesn't roll off. Somehow, as I'm working along, I don't know how I did it, but I've done 12 rows supposedly. Of course, I don't have 12 done here. And somehow I'm off by 1 stitch again. Okay, that happens. You're watching your favorite mystery movie. You get all tensed up, and somehow along the way you've missed a stitch. All right, there's a couple things you can do. You can go ahead and add an extra stitch on the end. Let me do that in the chain 3 there, so we've got our set number of stitches. There we go. Let's go in the top of our chain 3. All right. So I'm stitching along. Let's say I have about 12 rows, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to have 13 stitches and I only have 12. What did I do? Well, you can go back and rip it all out if you want to, but if it's for a great big blanket or something like that, you can do the same thing. You can add just an extra stitch at the end, like that. Now, if you have too many stitches, let's say I'm supposed to have 11 and I have 12. All right, you can do what's called stitching 2 together or a decrease. Yarn over, you go in the next stitch and pull up a loop. Then you go in that last stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through the 3, yarn over, and go through the last 2. Now, if I'm doing an intricate pattern or something like that where the stitch count is actually going to be really, really, really important, I won't do it this way. But if I'm doing, say, a big blanket or something where I'm doing lots of rows, I do need to have the right stitch count. You can do it this way by doing a decrease stitch or an increase stitch. All right, the last thing I want to show you is, let's say you're doing rows of double crochet. All right, and you noticed a couple rows back, your stitch count was off. All right, I've got 2 rows of double crochet here. You can do both stitches at the same time. Let me show you what you do. You yarn over, go in that stitch at the bottom and pull up a loop. Then you yarn over and you go in the stitch at the bottom of the next stitch. Okay, and you pull up a loop. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Yarn over, go through the first 2. Yarn over, go through the second 2. Yarn over, go through the next 2. Yarn over and go through the next 2. And what you've done is you've made a double crochet for down here and a double crochet for up here, and it gets you back on track. All right, so if you have too many chains, don't panic. If you don't have enough chains, don't panic. And I'm doing this with double crochets, but you can do this with singles and with half double crochets as well. And these are just ways, I call them crochet cheats, because you're not pulling everything out and frogging it all. You're just fixing it so that it looks nice. And like I said, this is just basically for when you're doing solid rows of single crochets, solid rows of half double crochets, and solid rows of double crochets. All right, let's click back over. And I noticed there, someone said they were having a little trouble getting in on Facebook today. I noticed when I went in on Facebook today, you stay over there, Rosie? She decided to sit on the floor. Okay, that I also had a little bit of trouble in Facebook today. I think they must be doing some maintenance or something, because when I first went to go in to start my video, it didn't come up. And so I had to like reset everything. And because I don't do it through Facebook exactly, I do it through a broadcasting program so that I can have 2 screens. I want to be able to see what I'm doing, and I want to be able to see Facebook. And so I use 2 screens. And so when I went to go in on Facebook, it did act a little, I think the word would be glitchy, you know, because it is, and it isn't. But if you're having a little trouble getting in on Facebook, don't panic. It'll be on YouTube after about an hour when we finish. So once I tweak it up and make sure a lot of times I'll take out my coughing and my stuttering when I put it over on YouTube because I don't want you to see me coughing or whatever, you know, if I don't have to. I can't take them out when I do it live, of course. All right, anyway, those were just some little cheats that you can do. Now, if you can't remember those, they'll always be on there, and you can just fast forward to that section of the video so that you can see those again. But they're things that I've used for a long time, and it's kind of fun because I'm seeing them reemerge. But take advantage of the, you know, decreases and increases. You can do those with any stitch, you know, single, half, double, triple, double, triple, all of those. And, you know, adding an extra stitch here and there. We all do that. And I hate, I don't like to use that word. I do not like vehemently. I don't know if that's a word either. Having to frog a project, it drives me crazy. I don't want to do it. And I do it all the time because I'm kind of a, you know, perfectionist when it comes to my work. But I don't like doing it at all. And if I can fix it without having to do that, I will. I have one more thing I'm going to show you next week about some crochet cheats. And it has more to do with like granny squares and stuff like that. But anyway, like I said, these things won't always work if you're doing an intricate pattern. But if you're doing rows back and forth, it's relatively easy to fix. And I know people panic all the time. They're like, I got one too many stitch. What do I do? Or I don't have enough stitches. What do I do? And the key is making sure you have the right count of stitches. And even if, because it's easy to chain too many, and it's easy to add an extra stitch when you're chaining. You know, those things, we all do it. I don't care how experienced a crocheter you are, those things happen. Alrighty, now, I bet you're wondering who my friend here is, right? Alright, well, I'm going to show you, we did 3 videos this week, and this one is the one that I did yesterday. I'm calling it the 3-season beanie. This is Red Heart Super Saver in the Latte Stripe. It's an ombre. And this hat was formerly known as the Men's Summer Beanie. And I changed the name to the 3-season beanie because, first of all, ladies like this hat too. I mean, I like it. And it's a great spring beanie. It's got some openness, but it's also super easy. Okay? And I changed the name also because I think it's great for not just summer, but spring and fall as well. And if you live in a warmer climate, it's great for winter. And we like to keep these around because we like to go up in the mountains in the summer and the spring and the fall, of course, and even sometimes in the winter. And sometimes it's a gorgeous sunshiny day, and then all of a sudden you'll get a rain or a little bit of a snow, and it will just cool right off. And so it's nice to have a little beanie in your bag to pop on your head. And they're super pretty. I mean, look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, this one is the regular, and if you want to make it into a slouchy, you can just add some extra rows of the repeat, and it makes a really nice slouchy. And in case you don't know who this is Skip. He's one of my models. I pay him nothing. I'm going to set Skip on the floor out of the way. Okay, so that is a brand new video that we updated and got brand new pictures on the blog now as a complete photo tutorial. And I always tell people, if I don't make sense on the video, click the link underneath the video and the written pattern is there. Click that written pattern link and it'll have the written pattern as well as a photo tutorial. One of the things that we are trying desperately and hard to do is to add photo tutorials to all of our patterns. And we still have a lot to go through. I mean, like I've told you, I've written over 1,000 patterns, and a lot of them, I go back and look at them and go, what was I thinking? And so they do need a little bit of work. And so some of them are getting some work. All right, the other thing we did this week was the square face washcloth. This is another one we updated the pattern. And I love these, and they're great. And a lot of times, I'm going to show you these other ones we did last week, the round ones. A lot of the guys don't like these. And I don't know why, they just don't prefer the round ones. I don't know why. And they really like the square ones. And so these make a nice gift. I always say when someone's getting married or they're moving out for the first time, getting their first apartment, they don't have money for paper towels and things like that. And so it's nice to have something you can wash your face with, throw it in with your regular towels, and toss them in the wash. All right? And I like these because I did them all in blues and beiges. They're kind of give me a spa feel. So that's a brand new video with the pattern we updated. Just simple little orange peel stitch. Makes a nice texture for a washcloth. All right, we did that. And then our new pattern this week, because we did one new pattern release, and this is our loop handle bag. And it's not a great big bag, but it's very stretchy and holds a lot. You can see I've got 2 skeins and a big ball of yarn in there. And the reason it's called the loop handle is because of the handle. You make one handle short and you make the other handle long. And then you just loop that long handle through and you've got a nice bag. It's great. I like this size for when I'm just running to the store to pick up like some cucumbers, maybe a loaf of bread and a bag of meat or something small. You know, I'm not going in to get a whole bunch of groceries. And of course, one of my favorite places to shop is Sprouts. And it also eliminates the need for a bunch of plastic bags. You can take this in there. You can put all your produce in the bottom and then your other stuff on top. And then when you check out, you know, you can put it all right back in this bag. And it's just a really nice bag for, you know, a nice size. But like I said, it also makes a nice project bag. Now, I also have a video. This is a brand new pattern release with a pattern and a brand new video. Now, I also have a video that I did a couple of years ago, and it's on how to line a crochet bag. And the technique that you use to line a crochet bag that is square or rectangle is really quite simple. And I give you lots of options or what you can use for fabrics and things like that. A lot of people love a lined bag. And this would make a nice handbag. You know, find a matching fabric that you really like. This one's like a spring green. And then you can line it and use it as your handbag or project bag, and then your things won't fall out. Underneath this video, give me 2 seconds here. In the link underneath that video on YouTube is the link for how to add a lining to that bag and just about any kind of crochet or knit or fabric bag. Even if you have a leather bag, the lining's wearing out, you can add a lining if you really love that handbag. And I have done that and it works really great. And the main thing that I learned in lining a bag is before I put that lining in there, if it's a cotton or a cotton blend, I wash the fabric first. Because if you line it without washing the fabric and then you line the bag and then because you want to wash these if you're going to put produce in them. It's very important, and you can toss these in with your kitchen towels. Okay, and wash them up just fine. And they go through the wash, then you pull them out of the dryer, and you didn't wash that lining first, your lining is going to shrink up, and it's not going to fit your bag anymore. So that's something I learned. I never even thought about it until I started washing them. So that's something, you know, to think about. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today. That's a lot of information, I know. And I'm always packing our videos just with too much information, but I hope it was helpful to you. Don't forget to remember about our giveaway. Let your friends know if you want to. I know I confessed to you that one time that I don't tell anybody when I wanted to win a giveaway because I wanted to win. But, you know, you get what you get with me. I'm real. And then there's no faking about it. I'm not acting. I'm really this silly. All righty. Well, I want to thank you all for being with me today on our live video. I haven't got a chance to read through all your comments, but I want you to understand that I do take the time to try to read through all the comments on Facebook and on YouTube because they're important to me, because you are important to me. Thank you for being a part of Posh Pooch Designs and a part of my YouTube channel and working out my patterns and just having fun. And I hope that this was an escape from this crazy world for just about 30 minutes to laugh and have fun. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next week.